Now that our prep is handled, let's take a look at the Broaster manufactured piece of equipment. Broaster is a company that we do bend and make all our own equipment, as well as blend and manufacture all our breadings and seasonings under the same roof. So we are a company that controls the quality of the equipment as well as the ingredients that goes into the finished product to control that quality all the way down to the end user. The model we'll be cooking on today is called a 1600. This is my smallest Broaster. And when I say Broaster, it is a pressure fryer. We are cooking and shortening, but we are closing the lid, trapping the heat and steam and agitation of the cooking process to build pressure. In a nutshell, what the pressure is doing for us, whenever we introduce pressure to any environment, it raises the boiling point of everything. So even though you see that we do cook at 360 under roughly 14 pounds per square inch is not hot enough to boil the juices in the product while we're cooking it. If we're not boiling the juices out of the product, there's no room for the shortening to be absorbed. So the pressure frying process, even though it isn't shortening, comes out with virtually zero oil absorption, plus it traps all the natural juices and marinades in the product that gives you a moisture content that is night and day versus basically open frying. What you're going to notice about the Broaster manufactured pressure fryer is just the ease of use. This is a unit that basically runs itself. It is very, very user friendly. Our solid state controller can remember up to 10 programs or menus. You can change products at just a touch of a button. Built-in filtration systems. Everything you need, very easy maintenance. Let's go ahead and cook some product. What we want to do is open the lid, grab our lifter, and we want to lock it into the basket. The basket actually is going to be submerged into the shortening, and we'll be introducing the product right into the shortening. This is another reason why it's key to have this prep done ahead of time. If we were breading and dropping, we would be making a mess here. This on an apron is not going to cut it. Your employees would have to be at the hand sink washing their hand after every load. Since we have breaded up ahead of time, I'm just going to load with tongs. I'm going to load the bigger pieces first in what I call a clockwise order. I'm thinking 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. What I am doing is trying not to just pyramid these right on top of each other, but giving them a chance to get down in that shortening and get seared shut. Our goal here is to cook pieces of product and not one big ball of product. There's really no hurry in loading. Loading does take time. That's why we're dropping the bigger pieces first and we're giving them a head start. Once we have the product loaded, we just want to give the basket a quick shake. We want to pull the lid forward. We want to go up and over to close the lid. Then we want to go from open to close. When we do this, there's several things that starts. First of all, it automatically starts your timer. So we're counting down, we're cooking away. That also seals the well shut where we're trapping the steam and agitation, and that's where we're building the pressure during the cooking process. What is also nice about this is now that we're cooking, we can stand here and stare at the machine, but it's not going to cook any faster. So your employees garnishing a plate, flipping a burger, calling on a customer, doing whatever else they need to do during the cooking process, we do not need to address the Broaster again until it beeps at us to come back to unload the product. While we are in the cooking process, I just want to point out some features of our controller. As you can see, it will give you a solid countdown of the time remaining in the cycle. It is also telling us that we are at 360. We also have our auto compensation light on, and this is very important. What the auto compensation does is when we start to cook any load, the controller takes a shortening temperature. And by how much that shortening temperature dropped, it has an idea if you're cooking 4 pieces or if you're cooking 32 pieces of full load. And what it does is it compensates for the longer recovery time for the larger loads. I do want to stress if this was on or off, your product would still cook thoroughly and it would be done. What the auto compensation is doing for us is if we do a four-piece load or a 32-piece load, the color and presentation of that product is going to be identical. We're just guaranteeing an identical quality finished product no matter what load size we are cooking. We also have a high limit that is on, which once again just a safety feature. Everything is redundant. These are extremely safe machines. I feel they are much cleaner than open frying. As you can see, I can be around the unit with no spittering and sputtering. Once again, you can basically walk away from this. When it beeps, we come back and unload.